Hello everyone, sorry about that mic quality, just my microphone. This is a Nuzlocke team building guide I just wanted to make for my friends and maybe the internet. And just because it can be very difficult sometimes, but I actually find it really fun. It's one of my favorite parts of the Pokemon games. So this hack is Photonic Sun, which is a difficulty hack of Ultra Sun, which adds about 700, 800 hack as well. But it increases base stats, it changes movesets and abilities to make and rebalance a lot of weaker Pokemon to become stronger. That's why I like it, as well as a spike in difficulty. As you can see, it's very hard to Nuzlocke, but I have been doing a run of it, and I hope you guys can learn something from this team building guide. First off, I want to make sure the most important step that everyone knows is you need tanks and sweepers. And a tank is a lot of things. People think of them as defensive, special defensive mons like Toxapex or Marini. They can also be utility Pokemon. For example, like a lot of grass Pokemon, Bulbasaur has a high HP stat, has Poison Powder, Sleep Powder, and Leech Seed, which is very good at stalling, since those effects do stay when you switch out. Tanks are very important for safe switch-ins, to heal if you allow healing items in battle in your Nuzlocke, and they are my favorite Pokemon. They're my favorite type of Pokemon to use. And of course you have your sweepers. These are, you need sweepers to reliably take down enemy teams. It gives stat boosts, buffs, good type effectiveness to just have good coverage to basically destroy everything. That's what sweepers are for. My Quilava here, which Cyndaquil can be encountered on Route 2 in Ultra Sun and Moon in Shaken Grass, as well as the other Johto starters. He's a Fire Ground type, Flame Wheel, Bulldoze, Quick Attack, and Brick Break. As you can see, his attack is lower than his special attack, but this great coverage gives him a lot of tools that he can use to sweep. And we have some utility moves on these mons here. We have Brune and a Baneri, which will turn into a fighting normal type when it becomes Lopunny. We have Endure, which is extremely useful, especially if you have a fragile sweeper. You can be assured knowing that you can stay another hit while either your tank recovers or a sweeper recovers. Encore is great at locking someone in. And because sweepers are usually very fragile, and taking a super effective hit is very devastating, or even a crit. But you see we have Water Gun, Disarming Voice, and Icy Wind, which is great coverage. Lopunny is able to learn the elemental punches, as well as stuff like Thunderbolt and Close Combat, which is great variety. So this is what you want your sweepers to be. On the other hand, we have tanks, which are my favorite. As you can see, this Dusclops here does not have extremely useful moves. Like Nightshade is garbage, it's so unreliable. Shadow Sneak, which is a weak priority move, Leer, which I need to replace, and Disable, which is a great utility move. Has Levitate, and it's a ghost type, which means it is immune to ground, normal, and fighting types, which is great. And special defense and defense stats are great because I have a reliable switch in if I need to heal someone up or prepare them, or just think about something for a minute, or if I don't have a counter to a specific Pokemon. Next is Alolan Grimer, which is my favorite tank. I love this thing so much. If you have a chance to catch it might be a guaranteed encounter in Trainer School. I always seem to get one, but anyways, this thing is Poison Dark, which has amazing resistance to a lot of things. Mine has Poison Touch, which is very lucky. Even if it doesn't, it has great defense, and great special defense, and great attack. It has Bite and Poison Fang, which can badly poison the user. Badly poison the opponent. Minimize, and Disable. These things are extremely bulky and great at attacking. This thing has saved me so many times when I needed to switch in and think about, or I just didn't know what to counter with. I need to get rid of the Quick Claw on this. That was for just poison and disable pop butt. This thing is really good with Black Sludge or leftovers. Then we have Charjabug, who has a very variety move pool. When it turns into Vikavolt, it gets higher speed. In this hack, Vikavolt has a lot higher speed. This thing's defense is good. It has Acrobatics, Bug Bites, Charge, and Spark. Charge also increases special defense. Battery is an amazing ability. It's for devil battles. But he has a lot of variety, and he's still a tank. He can take a few hits, and that's generally really good. Tanks are great. Even if you have high HP, high defense, high special defense. If you have game knowledge and you know what your Pokemon, what their stats, what their strengths and their weaknesses are, then you shouldn't lose a lot to unknown. For example, someone's defense might be great and their special defense might not be. Just be careful when you're going against mons. Like, a lot of water mons are special attackers, Of course, fighting mons are physical attackers, so just be careful. It's a lot of game knowledge. Anyways, I just got into the Nuzlocke scene, and I've been doing this and learned a lot, and it's really fun for me. So, that is the first part, and then this is the second part. The second part, I'm going to show you how to build a team, what happens if your team almost wipes, okay? It might depend on your Nuzlocke rules or whatever. Let's say I get rid of everyone besides Baneri. So, normal types are amazing, and they come in clutch a lot of the time because they can learn a lot of good elemental moves and a lot of good physical moves. So I've had one here, but I have a box here. I allowed myself 2 encounters for each area because this hack is 700 to 800 mod, the full dex, and I wanted to make sure that I could get an opportunity to use a lot of good Pokemon. But we have them here. Bulbasaur. I love grass types. Grass and poison, great combination. We have Poison Powder, Sleep Powder, and Leech Seed. Venusaur has a high HP stat, and it can take a lot of hits, as also setting up. Leech Seed and Poison Powder, Poison State, and even if you switch out your Pokemon, that's why I chose it. Mawile, which is a sweeper and also a little bit of, it's kind of defensive because it's a Steel Fairy type and it has very good resistance to a lot of things. This one has huge power, but they can also have Intimidate in attack, which is very useful for lowering an attack, getting in a sweeper that otherwise wouldn't be able to take a hit. Furfrou, which is amazing, and I don't know why more people don't use this thing. It has great attack and amazing defense, and it's so bulky. Its fur coat ability, I think, gives it resistance to fire moves, and it is with it. This thing with leftovers with Headbutt is a disaster to be is forced to be reckoned with. I don't know about Furfrou's move pool, but I know that it is a great defensive Pokemon, and Headbutt, and not a lot of things are resistant to normal types, so it's a great option. Next we have a Lonely Intimidate Growlithe, which is very lucky, actually. I've got pretty decent encounters here. Growlithe doesn't learn a great fire move until Flamethrower at like level 30 something, but it has Intimidate, which is extremely useful. It has Roar too, and Leer, and I know people are like, what's Growl? Why do I need Growl? Why do I need Leer? This has actually come in clutch for me many times. Just lowering something's defense if you know it has a lot, lowering its attack if you know it has a lot. Sometimes you need to just keep those utility moves. I like to have one on each Pokemon. Pick Growlithe. Actually picked a Jangmo-ul. Dragon types have been notoriously have always good elemental move pools, and although this thing doesn't get super powerful until it evolves, it has Dragon Tail, Protect, and Scary Face, which are good utility moves. A high defense, and it has Soundproof, which means it is immune to sound moves. A good tank mon, and it's also very cute. I love this thing. I'm actually a big fan of all these Pokemon. And so part of team building is having fun and picking what looks cool, but also using underutilized mons. So just look up their stats, see what they have, see what moves they have, see what they TMs or TRs that they get, their whole stat spread, their base stat spread. It's great, and Cerebi does have the beneficial and stat. Like if you scroll down to the bottom and you see what nature your Pokemon has, you can determine how what its stats will be. And of course they're a little bit randomized, but they should be in that range. This is a basic team building guide, and of course you use items and abilities to make the most advantage. This thing, Bulbasaur's Overgrow, which is actually pretty useful, as Venusaur can take a lot of hits. You can even leave it in when it's at low HP to deal extra grass moves. Fur Coat I already talked about, huge power. Runaway turns into Cute Charm, which I wish this thing was female because the majority of opponent Pokemon are male. Anyways, we have Intimidate and Soundproof, which are great abilities. A lot of these Pokemon is like Weak Armor's sucky ability. It turns into Sandstream, I think. Sandstream, or I don't really know what that one is when it evolves into a Gigalith. Which is decent. It's not awful. And then Charjabug gets Levitate as an electric type, is very useful. Snowcloak, Hustle, not a great ability, but it's Delibird. Sandveil, Frisk, Pixelate, amazing ability. If you happen to get a Misdreavus in this Photonics and they have Pixelate, Echoed Voice Pixelate combo is amazing. Sorry about the dog. Grass types are always good. Usually they have pretty good special defense. They can take electric and water hits pretty well. And like I said, if you do wipe, you can always use your encounters to just make the best of what you have. Use your TMs, make the best of what you have, use your berries. You can even, in some hacks, they have easier access to EV training items or EV lowering berries. Even without that, you can just choose selectively what you are grinding on, and that can give you extra HP or speed or attack or whatever, just to make your life a little bit easier. So that was my overall guide. I hope you guys learned something from it. I didn't really see anything on like YouTube or Reddit. Very broad, general guide. So I hope this was helpful to anyone. I will have some YouTubers and the hack I will link in the description who are great. There's YouTuber inspired me to do this. She's great at it. And there's Pokemon Challenges, who's like the goated Nuzlocke YouTuber of all time. Like, he's amazing. A streamer, I should say. I will link those in the description, and this video was unscripted, so I'm sorry about the stuttering, whatever. Just put me on 2 times speed, I don't care. That was it, and yeah.